Welcome everybody to Artist and Producer. Today we're going to be talking about how to copyright an unpublished work song and why you might want to. So, why copyright an unpublished song? Some of the times when you might want to copyright a song even though you haven't published it. So, copywriting it as an unpublished work is when you want to show the song around to producers who might want to help you with the song, and you might be worried about them stealing the song and making it their own. So maybe people you might not 100% trust. If you do trust them, they're close friends or whatnot, then maybe don't worry about it, since unregistered, unpublished work costs it cost me $65, one I just made right now. I think the price might vary if you have only one author, but I had a co-author. Another reason you might want to register a copyright of an unpublished work is when maybe you'll be showing it around to other artists or their managers. Maybe you wrote a song that might be a really good fit for, I don't know, Kesha or Jay-Z or someone. It's within their style, and you contact Jay-Z's manager or Jay-Z directly if you know him. Obviously, you might probably do this with some other artist, and you don't know whether Jay-Z might just steal your song. So if you're worried about that, if you have a copyright registered with the U.S. Copyright Office as an unpublished work, if Jay-Z comes out with a song that's just like yours, or maybe similar, but he changed a few lines or changed it a little bit, with that copyright of an unpublished work, you can go to court with Jay-Z or whatever artist stole your song. To go to court in the U.S. for an infringement claim of your intellectual property, in this case a song, you need to have copyright registered with the U.S. Copyright Office, either as an unpublished work, so one that you've never published, and you either want to publish it yourself down the line or sell it to another artist. Or you can also have it registered as a published work. But either way, if you want to take someone to court, it has to be registered as one of those two with the U.S. Copyright Office. Published or unpublished work. There's a lot of confusion out there about the poor man's copyright. I have to talk to various artists, to various lawyers, people that work within the legal field in the music industry. And the poor man's copyright is a myth. There's some anecdotal evidence out there, some court cases where people have tried to use it as evidence, and it just gets thrown out because you can tamper with letters. I mean, people have the technology to create fake $100 bills. Obviously, they're going to have the technology to, postmark a letter, make it look like it was postmarked and official at a certain date, or open up the letter and put in all their CDs and close it and make it look like it was never opened. It's not 100% foolproof. Neither are timestamps on a DAW project file, like on Ableton or Logic. You can go into the BIOS and modify the timestamp there. I mean, that's something a hacker could easily do. So those methods aren't foolproof. They haven't been used in the court of law. It's just not a realistic thing to use. And even if you were to use it, by the time you got to the point in court where you were showing it as evidence, imagine all the money you'd have to spend in lawyer fees, all the time just to get to that point. And notwithstanding the fact that you have to legally take someone to court, it's just how the U.S. legal system works with songs. You have to have your song registered with the U.S. Copyright Office. The only situation where you could where you could not have a U.S. copyright and someone infringes your claim and you want to take them to court. You can register that copyright, but you have to prove that you were the first one. You have to prove basically authorship, that you created it, and you have to prove that you created it first. And these two methods don't work. Poor man's copyright, sending yourself a letter through the U.S. mail, nor showing your DAW project files. So what would work in that case? Well, in that case, you would want to... it's somewhere, I mentioned it in the article in here somewhere, but basically you'd want to use a third-party service like SongGuard or songregistration.com. I'm not sponsored by either of these. I don't have any affiliate links for either of these. But basically what these are independent third-party services that when you register a song with them, they'll send you a basically proof, and they timestamp it with their own system. That's not, like, you can't tinker it since it's an independent third party. So basically what they do is you pay them, with SongGuard, you pay $4 a song. You go in and you upload your song and your lyrics. They send you an email with the confirmation and the dates. And then if you ever wanted to take it to court, you just send them an email. You contact them and they will provide proof. Basically, they'll send you a certified document that says, yes, this artist, this is who created it, who registered with this, and this is the date that they registered it. So if you were the first one to upload it, which you would be if you were the creator, you can take that to a U.S. court, and then you can use that as evidence to file your official U.S. copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office if there is any doubt. But before you ever get to a court of law, I've talked to the owners of both of these, and they said it's pretty common. Like if there's any dispute, the owners of this website or of this website, they'll send you the proof that you registered it first, and it's hard evidence, and usually that evidence is enough to get the other person to back down or to come to some kind of conclusion, like that they'll pay you a certain amount, basically settling the case without taking it to actual court, because taking things to court is extremely expensive. For people that have never done it, in theory, it sounds easy. Yeah, I'm going to sue this person. But in reality, it's a nightmare. If you have a lot of money, it's easy. You just hire a lawyer and do it. But if you don't have a lot of money, lawyers are extremely expensive. It's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds, and it'll take months, but more likely years of a legal battle. So people just usually settle it. Here it's $4 a song. Here it's $7.50 a song. It's $30 for 4 songs. Or if you're going to be registering a ton of songs, like if you crank out a song a day, it's $100 for unlimited songs for a year. So song registration might be a good option if you are very prolific in writing. If you just upload a song here and a song there like I do, maybe like 1 song a month, then SongGuard is the better option. But these two will pretty much provide the same service from what I understand. So let's get into how to actually register your copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office. So how to register an unpublished song, how to copyright an unpublished song. So here are the basic steps I just went through yesterday, and I registered an unpublished work that I created with my friend. We have a special situation because we don't own the beat. So I called the U.S. Copyright Office regarding that. I'm going to get into that in a second. But basically, to register an unpublished work, just follow these. Just go to my blog post and follow these instructions. But to make it easy, you go to the Electronic Copyright Office portal by clicking this link. And it's basically going to look like, once you get in there and log in and create everything, it's going to look like this. And in my case, I did a standard application because I just registered 1 song with a co-author. each situation is different. If you want to register a group of unpublished works, like maybe let's say you wrote 10 songs and you want to show those 10 songs around, you'll save money by doing it this way. I believe a group of unpublished works is $85. It's somewhere around there, 65, 85. But it's cheaper than this one. This one was $65 for one song. You could do the same thing for a group of published works. You can just you can do up to 20 songs at a time. I believe with unpublished works it's also 20. But in this case, if you want to do just one song, standard application. Let's go into the standard application. So once you're inside and you click on the standard application, it's pretty self-explanatory. You do start registration. You just fill out. You're gonna do sound recording. This is where it gets kind of tricky. The sound recording is like the master. Once you record it, it's like the WAV file. If someone uses the same WAV file just as you do, then you can sue them pretty much. So a good example is if you made a cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, you don't own the work of the performing arts, the PA, you own the SR of your cover. Because the PA, that covers the songwriting, that covers the lyrics and the melody. And it only covers that. Everything besides that, like production, the effects, and whatever that goes under the master recording that you create. And you can register both, which I did with the one I did yesterday. You can register the PA, so the music and the lyrics, the music being the melody of the vocal, and the lyrics that we wrote, and it fits within the sound recording. You just put that in down the line of basically what you're registering. There'll be a field in one of these that says, what are you registering? And you write that. You write exactly what you're registering. So if you're going to register both music and melody, music and lyrics, and the actual master, you're going to select sound recording, continue, click on the box, continue. You're going to put in the title of your work. So title type, title of work being registered. And then let's just say song 3. Save. And then you're going to go through all of these. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions regarding it, feel free to leave a comment on this video or on my website, and I'll get back to you. But basically, it's all written through here. I mean, you're going to click on standard application, register work. Let's see. Let's try to do this. I don't want to get my personal info to go up. Has this work been published? Since it's an unregistered work, you're going to know. Type in the year. And then, yeah, I don't want to show my personal info, so I don't want to click on next. Let's see. So, some questions regarding registering an unpublished song if I didn't make the underlying beat instrumental. So let's say you found an instrumental, it's an unreleased song from a producer, and you wanted to put lyrics and melody to it, which is what happened in our case. There's a producer, I got a hold of his instrumental, and I really, really liked it, and I decided to write a song to it. But he, it's not released. The instrumental still hasn't been released, so my plan is to contact him and say, hey, I wrote this song. I really love your beat. I wrote this song and lyrics and melody to it. What do you think? Like, can we sell this to some other artist? Because he has a lot of connections in the music industry. He worked with some major artists. I don't want to name names, but a lot more connections than I do. So, and he'll know who that song might be good for, like whose style it'll go with. So I had a few questions. I called the U.S. Copyright Office. And the first question I had is, should I register both the SR and the PA together, or just the PA, since I didn't make the beat? My reasoning behind this, obviously, I should have just done the lyrics and the melody, right? But my reasoning behind it is, we created a demo, and maybe we'll publish the demo. Maybe, if that producer or anyone were to use our voices, the recording that we have, if you were to just put it out, we'd have more protection if we did both the sound recording, if we had that registered, and the PA together. Because if it's just the PA, then obviously there'd be less damages, and this is, obviously this is never going to happen, but just to have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, I just wanted to have it done the correct way and learn the correct way and do it the correct way from now on. So I'm just sharing what I learned. Basically what the U.S. Copyright Office told me is, the SR, the sound recording, is for the mixing, mastering, and engineering, the actual sound recording. So it just depends on you if you want to register that. I did. Why not? It costs the same to do both. The thing you do have to do, though, is, since we don't own the instrumental beat, in the part where there's limitation of claims, so in here, limitation of claim, you're going to go in and you're going to say pretty much like, here's what I wrote: instrumental beat is excluded from this copyright claim. And you're going to type in what you did do: lyrics, vocal melody, vocal performance, and music. Excludes instrumental. You don't really have to include this excludes instrumental, but I just did. You can ignore this since most likely you didn't register it previously. Let's go through some of these other ones just to talk about it. Actually, no, I don't want to get off track. If you have any questions on that, just send me a comment and I'll make a new video on it. Can I register? The second question I had is, can I register one song as unpublished, or do you have to do a group of unpublished works? For some reason, I was confused about that, and they said, you can just do one unpublished song. You just have to go do it as a standard application. So, I showed that previously in the video earlier. Third question: do I just upload the file of my song, the MP3, or should I also upload the lyrics separately as like a PDF? Because you can upload various files, and I wasn't sure if you had to upload one or both, or it didn't matter. And pretty much they said, you can just upload the MP3, like if it already has the lyrics on it with you singing it. You don't have to upload a separate PDF with lyrics on it. So I just uploaded the one song, since it has everything on there. If you listen to it, you'll know the lyrics. From what I understood, if you wanted to, you can upload the separate PDF, which I should have done, since it doesn't hurt. But basically what happens if there is any dispute and it goes to court, from what I understand, they have a court-appointed person who's going to go through, they have legal, like music experts who are going to listen to the song to determine whether the other person infringed on it, if it's an exact copy or if it's close enough. They're going to listen to the lyrics too. They're going to write them down anyways. So that's why you only have to upload the song if it already has lyrics on it. Number 4, is there a specific way I should name my files? Because I remember hearing something about that, but they basically said, if you're just doing one song, just name it the same as your title. It doesn't even have to be the same, just basically the same, like just so it's obvious. Don't name it like, if your song is called Heal the World, don't name it 123.mp3. It could be Heal the World dash new version 1 version 4. I don't know. Basically, just use your common sense. So the workers at the U.S. Copyright Office know it's the same song. When you're registering a group registration of unpublished works, then it does matter, but it's written out in the instructions for the group registration, and you can find that in the FAQ. If you go down to resources down here, Copyright Office FAQ, and there's also the resources that I used for this whole article. So these might be worth reading if you want to learn more. So the conclusion, if you want your song to be protected, if you think it might go somewhere, I recommend protecting it. I went through in my previous professional life, I had an online store, and basically I was selling a product where the intellectual property, one of my friends invented a product and I was selling it for him, and there was a lawyer who was a patent troll. Basically, patent trolls try to steal patents. They try to steal people's intellectual property, and he tried to steal my friend's patent, and I got stuck in the middle. He went after me, and I lost all my inventory as an Amazon seller, basically per their what's it called? Their terms of service, and it was over $100,000 worth of inventory. So I lost pretty much my whole life savings. It was the business I was running to support myself as an artist. So after that, it made things really difficult, and it kind of showed me how the legal system works. Because my friend had a patent. He had a legal registered patent. It basically showed me that, if you have the money for a lawyer, you can attack people that have patents, they have intellectual property, they have stuff registered legally. And even though by law, in theory, those people have their own songs registered, in this case it was patents, they had their own patents registered. Even though in theory they're protected, they still have to protect themselves legally from when someone tries to sue you. You have to go to court. You can't ignore it. So you have to spend money on legal fees if you decide to fight it. You can not spend anything and decide to just give up and say, okay, you win, settle outside of court. But if someone decides to take you to court for something, they're spending money, but you're going to also have to spend money. You can't just say, no, I'm not going to court, because then you'll lose, and then you lose your house or whatever, or whatever you have in your name, whatever assets. In terms of songs, I don't think that happens that often, but it just goes to show you that it's people can really mess with you legally. Having a registered song, this is the best protection you can have. It's the most foolproof, the most solid protection you can have, a registered copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office. Because I've heard a lot of stories out there of people who, they had a song and they showed it around, and then someone just decided to take their song and publish it, and they made money off of it. Maybe got 1 million views on YouTube or on Spotify. And if you don't have a registered copyright, you can't really do anything about it. Because like I said before, that's a prerequisite to go to court, to litigate for damages, to go to court for damages, to get money from someone for them stealing your work. You need to have a U.S. copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office. So yeah, I can go on and on about stories where people didn't do that. People say all the time. I was researching this first on Reddit, and people would say this all the time. They always repeat the same thing on every forum. They say, you have an automatic copyright once you create something. When I wrote this article, I have an automatic copyright on it. When I write a song and I write it down in my notepad, I have automatic copyright. When I record it on my phone, I have automatic copyright. The only problem is that's all fine and dandy, but I can't do anything with that. That's why that's such bad advice. I don't know where that came from. In the law it says that, but in the law it doesn't tell you hey, you can't do anything with that information. Yeah, you have an automatic copyright, but you can't do anything about it unless you have a registered copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office, if that makes sense. I know it doesn't, because it's really confusing, but that's why it's so hard for me to explain it. But basically, if you want to protect your song, just copyright it with the U.S. Copyright Office. That's the point I'm trying to get across. If you don't have the money, since it is $65, like I said, Well, it varies between 45 and 85, depending on the type of registration. But at the very least, like if you're worried about someone taking your song, just register with SongGuard or with song registration. Like I said, I don't get any money from these. This is just what I use. I use SongGuard. It's $4. So whenever I show a song around, if I'm showing it, if I'm going to an NSAI meeting, or and I'm going to be playing it in public, or I'm going to be showing it around to producers, and I'm not really that worried about it being stolen, but I still want to kind of protect myself, I'll just register it here. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. And then also, I have a free ebook that talks about the best hours, days, months for releasing music, optimal times of the year to release certain songs, best practices for releasing music to maximize the chance of your song becoming a hit and charting. So feel free to sign up for that and get that delivered to your email box. Thank you for tuning in, and take care. Bye-bye.